Hello everyone, my name is Nguyen, and I'm currently a student of Greenwich University, Vietnam. So for this applications today, I will do the demonstrations as a part of my assignment in the course of mobile applications development. So without further ado, let's get started. So when you first go to the applications, there will be a the welcome screen with a get started button. You can sign in or you can sign up if you don't have any account, but I will try logging in first. So for the login and the sign up, I used the file-based authentications. And when you click the login buttons, there will be a progress dialog showing that you are logging in. And if you logged in successfully, it will move to the dashboard. We will show some information about the updates, the data visualizations, or the data analytics. So there's two main parts. The first part is the dashboard fragment container. We will have different fragments with graph, with charts, and with status updates. So the first screen is some overview of the current status of the expenses. So because we are developing an expense management applications for employees to claim the money back when they travel for work. So they want to track whether their money has been refunded or not, and they will look at the dashboard to see how much of the money that they have spent has been refunded by the companies. And here you can see that it is 205 out of 925. If you click on the next arrow, it will move to another fragment, which is the pie chart, which shows the total of expenses segmented by types. And for the pie chart, you can actually interact with it. And the types can be like the food, the accommodations, the transportations, the outsource. And next, if you click on to the next arrow again, it will move to the bar charts that visualize the total of expenses by month in the year of 2022. So you can also click on them to make it focus more. And next, you can see there's map fragment that will show all the trips locations that you have been adding to the database. After you click onto any markers that show the location of the trips, it will show the trip names, and the focus will be moved to that marker, and it will be located at the center of the map fragment. And voila, let's just go back to the original dashboard screen. And for the second part of the dashboard, there will be some information about the greetings that welcome back my name, which is Nguyen, and you will have the recent trips section that will show the recent trips has been added to the applications or the recent expenses. Alright, so let's move to the view on trips fragment. So for the view on trip fragments, all the trips will be shown here using the recycler view and the cart view as a single item in the recycler view. So I have built in a search function that allow you to search for the trip that you want, and they will catch the event on key up. So as you type, it will go and search for your trips, and if there is no trip file, there will be a toast, and there will be no trip that will show to the user. And there's also you can also search by date. Let's see, like 8/11, like 8 in November, there will be a 5 days trips. You can search by destination. You can search like Tokyo, no Tokyo, so Hanoi, no Hanoi too. You have Ho Chi Minh City, and you can also search by stated to show the trips that has been refunded, and we have only the summer camp in London has been refunded. All right, so let's go to the new trip activities by clicking on the bottom navigations button. So for the new trips, you can see this is in an activity, and they're having some validations for the required field and some logics validations. If you click save without inputting anything, there will be a validations here. And if you input the trip name, for example, testing 1, right, and the validations will go away. And for the destination, you will have to add it by searching for your locations on the map fragment. For example, I will try searching for Greenwich. And here you can see this Greenwich in the UK. And for the descriptions, it's just an optional field, just leave it at optional. And for the start day and the end day, it will automatically filled out with the current date, as you can see, which is the 21st of November. If you click on it, it will show a calendar that you can choose the day that you want. For example, I choose the 31, and as you can see here, the start date is after the end date, which will also be handled. Okay, so let's change this back to 9. All right, so when there's no other validations, then other erroneous validations, it will move you to the confirmations dialog, which will show all the informations that you have added, trip name, destinations, so that you can reject and see if you want to continue with adding this new trip. You can say no and change it, and you will say that yes, it has been changed to yes, and you can just click yes. All right, back to the view on trips. You can see that the testing trips has been added successfully, and for the card view of the trips, it will show the total of expense in the trips by performing some SQL queries group on the expense amount by the trip ID. So let's try. Okay, so let's try adding let's try update this trip. As you can see, when you click on the update trips, it will show a dialog that has the trip names and destination and all the things that you have inputted before showing here, so that you can easily to reflect on the own value that you have inputted. So I just change it to 2, and I click on this, and I change it to Ho Chi Minh City. As you can see, the marker will stay at the location that you had chosen before, but now I want to search for Ho Chi Minh City. Alright, so it has been moved to Ho Chi Minh City, and I will choose the locations, and it will update automatically to the input of the destinations. It's 2. Alright, and for this edit trips, I also add the validations for any other type to make sure that user don't input something that is erroneous. So as you can see, there are also validations for this. And when there's no other erroneous validations, you can check your update trip information with the dialog here. And when you click on update, you can see that all the information has been updated accordingly, and which is the alright, and you see Ho Chi Minh City. And I will try deleting this trip. it will show you the trip informations in a read-only mode so that you can recheck if you're really sure you want to delete the trips. And if you are sure, you can click on delete and you will have to confirm your deletions again. After you deleted successfully the trips, it will navigate you back to the view on trip fragment. All right. So let's choose a random trip to perform the expenses actions. So firstly, this is add expenses. There will be custom dialog for adding new expenses. So for the expense name, for the validations, just try if there is any validation. Alright, so there's some validations for the trip name, for the expense name, sorry. So you have to tester 1. So for the expense type, I have used drop down with some predefined value. So for example, just choose transportations, and for the date, let's try choosing 15, and I will just leave it like that. And I also have a currency converter that will help you to convert the expense that you have spent in another country to the currency that your companies require. So for example, I use 250 euro. For this currency exchange, I have used asynchronous API call to an API that helped to convert the currency with the latest exchange rate. So let's try convert though. When they convert successfully, it will update the expense amount field with the converted value. And there was a command. And I've also added an extra feature for expense billing image. It will help you to capture the image billing as the evidence for your company to make sure that your spending are legit. So let's try using the camera. It will ask for your permissions, but I have allowed it before. So after you take a picture, it will have a picture preview here. You can also choose from the gallery. As you can see, it has updated successfully here. Alright, so when you click on the create new expense, you will have the confirm custom alert dialog that you will have a chance to recheck on what you have inputted. And you can see you can recheck all the comments. I have a typo, so I will come back and change. And when you click create again, it will show that you have changed it successfully. And when you click yes, it will create this expense and uploading the image that you have added to the file-based storage. And as you can see here, the expense has been added successfully here, and the currencies that has been exchanged will be reduced to just 2 decimal number. As you can see here, just 2 decimal number. And next, if you want to update this expense, you can try with 2. And you can also see that this update expense has the previous inputted value, so that you can easily reflect on what you have inputted. And you can also see that the image that you have added before also showed here, so that you can choose a new one. Alright, so let's update this. Nothing changed much, just the expand name to 2 and the image. Okay, so yes. Alright, so you have updated this successfully. Alright. So when you click on the edit again to check if you have updated successfully, and you can see that you have updated it successfully. Alright, so click on cancel. Alright, so now I want to delete and expand I have added. So I will try delete this one. I will try delete this one. Sorry, my phone's my laptop is kind of lag. So when you click on the delete, it will show you again all the information that you need to see, and now you can recheck it and you will delete. So it will ask you for your confirm again to delete this expand, and voila, you have deleted successfully. Alright, so let's go back to the view on trips. So there also an account information fragment for you to check. So you can click on the profile image to change another image. For example, I choose this. It will show the profile picture confirmation, and if you confirm, it will upload the profile image, and you can see. Hello guys, so I have just set up the Firebase console, so that it will be easier for us to look at and see that we have updated the data successfully. So let's try adding a new trip. So as you can see here, we have this trip. And alright, let's try adding a new one. For the destination, just choose a random one. Alright. Destination is an optional field, so just alright. Yes. And as you can see, that test trips has shown here, and let's just look at a new expand. Transportation with a picture. Let's use this. Alright, reject, create this expand. Alright, so let's go to the setting, and now I will try clicking on the backup so that it will update the data to this. As you can see, there's another data that has been updated, and this is the testing expense that we have just added before recently. So as you can see here, and for the trips, let's look for the testing. Is it? Maybe I have just passed it here. So as you can see, this is the test 7 trips that we had just added. So next is the delete all function. Yes, there will be the confirmations if you want to delete all data, and you can see that it will automatically updating all the data that you can see here. in the Firebase and you take a look at home, you can see that there's no trip at all. But that will be more secure because we just use soft delete, so that we can just restore all the data. As you can see, it just restore all the data. So alright, so I think that's all for the main functions. And next, let's try logging out. Alright, so we have logged out successfully. Alright, next is the hybrid applications that is built using React Native, and currently it is used on an iPhone 11. So when you first go to the applications, it will navigate you to the login screen. If you don't have an account, you can register here and just try register something. Alright. So when you created a new account successfully, you will be navigated to the trip records, and you will have the accounts here and to log out in the setting. So I will log into another account to demonstrate about other features. So after you log out, you will be navigated back to the login screen. So if you log in with the wrong password, there will be an alert from the Firebase authentications. And if you logged in successfully, there will be an alert that inform you that you have logged in successfully, and you will be navigated to the view on trip records here. Alright, so this will show some basic informations of the trips in a touchable opacity card view. So you can see this just trip name, destination, the start and end day, and the total expense. So at the corner in the bottom of the screen, you will see a floating button that will allow you to add new trips. So we will use just basic format with dialog. So just try adding a new trips. The start date is yesterday. For this, I've used the daytime picker so that it will automatically update the text input value so that you will not input the data manually, so it will lead to the wrong format. So her destination should say midnight. Destination, no. Further, will require risk assessment. We will have the switch. So when you click OK, if the trips is created successfully, there will be a notifications, and you can see the new trips expense that is shown here. So if you click into the new trips, trips that you had just created, you can see that there are more detailed information of the trips will be shown to you in this screen, and there will also be an expense sections to show all the expense belong to these trips. But right now we just demonstrate the update trips first. So I will try updating the trips. As you can see, this is update trips. Her start date is moves to 22. So you can see that the current value of the trip date will be, or the current value of the trip information will be sold in the update trips, so that you can be easier to see the old value and change with the new one. So I will change some basic information, and if you update it successfully, it will show right away on your screen, as you can see here. So I will try delete the trips. There will be a notifications alert that will ask for your consent to delete this trip again, And if you click yes, it will delete and will navigate you back to the view on trips records. And you'll no longer see the update trips that we had just created. So now let's go to the demo 2 trips to see the trips that I have created before. And as you can see here for the expense sections, we have a flat list of expense that will shows all the expense that belong to the trips. So you can add a new one by just clicking on the floating button, and with the expense name there will be testing. Type is transportations, amount is just 20 December. Means you change back to this. Okay, so if you add this new expense, it will show an alert that you has added successfully, and it shows here, as you can see. And also the icons for it expense will vary based on the type of the expense. As you can see, this is transportations, this is other, this is accommodations, and this is other too. So you can update this expense by now. Just test it, and just choose outsource. Maybe just here. Right, the date just updated to December 2021. Time just 2. And the command is 3. Alright, so you can update the expense, and the expense is updated successfully, and then you can see that the icons that has changed already, and it has changed all the things that we have filled out in the update expense form. And now if I want to delete this expense, there will be also an alert to confirm my deletions. And if I delete successfully, we will have to go back and go to the demo again to see. Yeah, so the expense that we had just created has been deleted because React Native using a very complex system of state and hooks, so it's really hard to delete using just the functions, and it's really hard to reload the expense. So that's all for